Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to heal from family scapegoating so that you could reclaim your life and you could also reclaim your true self. This video is going to piggyback on a video I did last week on family scapegoating, the signs and the effects of family scapegoating. And this is such an important topic because the main thing that gets robbed from us when we are scapegoated within a family is that we get robbed of our true self. Why? Because we have to become whatever it is that we need to become in order to feel safe and in order to receive the love, the connection that we so much need as children within these families. I'm making this video so that you can learn what are the initial steps that you would need to take in order to start your healing and transformational growth journey. So number one is the need for you to acknowledge and validate your experience. It is so important for you to acknowledge the role that you've been playing within your family dynamic so that you could validate your experience and your feelings. Usually the family scapegoat does not get validated. They get used and they get abused and they get picked on and they get pushed aside. This step is about moving from a place of internalized blame to recognizing that the scapegoating was a systemic issue from the family, not a reflection of your inherent worth or your character. This validation can be profoundly healing as it shifts the narrative from self-blame to understanding. Being part of a system where you are the family scapegoat, you start to internalize the belief that it is your fault and that what they're saying is true, even to the point where you start using their language. So it is so important, this first initial step, to acknowledge, to show that you have awareness of and validate that you have been used as the family scapegoat. Number two is about engaging in therapy. Seeking therapy from a professional who understands narcissistic type parenting, narcissistic type of families, and the family dynamic that would create a system where there is a family scapegoat is crucial. A trauma-informed therapist could provide a safe space to explore and unpack your experiences. The therapeutic journey can help you understand the root causes of the scapegoating, its impact on your life, and the strategies for you to start rebuilding your life and to start rebuilding your sense of self and your personal identity. Therapy could also offer you the tools for managing emotional triggers and developing healthier coping mechanisms. It will also start helping you separate the truth from the story that was told to you from the narcissists in the family that were using you as a scapegoat. And again, let me remind everyone, the reason why children are used as scapegoats is to deflect attention from the real problems within the family, from the real issues within the family, from the real problematic person, or even the abuse within the family. So it is so important to separate truth from the story that's been told to you all this time. And this is something that therapy could help you start giving you awareness and insight about so that you can start your healing journey. Number three is building a supportive community. Surrounding yourself with people who affirm your worth and support your journey could significantly impact your healing process. This might involve forming new friendships, joining support groups, or engaging in communities who share the same type of experiences that you've had. These relationships can offer a contrast from your family dynamic, showing you what healthy, supportive interactions look like and helping you internalize new thoughts, new feelings, and new ways of looking at yourself and your life, and helping you change your identity and giving you the space for you to grow into the person you are truly meant to be. Number four is establishing healthy boundaries. Establishing healthy boundaries is very important to your healing journey because a lot of times the only way for a child to survive in a family where there is scapegoating and there is narcissistic parenting is to conform to the lack of boundaries. There are no boundaries within these families. All boundaries are good to be crossed, especially from their side to our side. So learning to setting and maintaining healthy boundaries with your family and others is key to protecting your emotional well-being. At this point, it will be you making a decision about prioritizing your peace, your mental health, and your emotional well-being. This might involve limiting contact with certain family members, defining clear limits on what behavior you will accept, and learning ways to say no. But this also means that you will have to come to accept that by you setting no and by you setting boundaries, you will probably lose some people who will not accept who you're becoming, who will not accept the new you who sets boundaries, the new you who honors yourself, the new you who has your own individuality. And all of these things that I'm speaking of are actually characteristics of someone who is healed. Also, keep in mind that if you don't set boundaries with these people, we're actually not helping them grow and not helping them heal. We're actually enabling a lot of their bad behaviors, and we're enabling them from not getting the help that they also need. Establishing boundaries is a powerful step in reclaiming your autonomy and respect for your needs and your feelings, and it's your first step from breaking free from being the scapegoat and from your codependent behaviors and codependent ways of thinking and being that you acquired as you were trying to survive within this family. Number 5 is cultivating self compassion and care. And I'm going to add in there cultivating self compassion, care, and self forgiveness. Self compassion involves treating yourself with the same kindness, concern, and support that you offer to a good friend and that you've actually probably offered to a lot of people within your family. This could be a transformative practice for you when you have internalized negative beliefs about yourself due to the scapegoating that has been done to you. So, engaging in activities that nurture your physical, emotional, and mental well being can reinforce the belief in you that you are of value, that you are resilient, and you are worth taking care of. The main point with this self compassion and forgiveness and self care is that you start to recognize the patterns within you that were reinforced by the narcissistic type parenting that you received or the abusive type of parenting that you received. And you start to detach yourself from them. You detach yourself from their way of thinking, their way of perceiving things, their way of defining you, and you start taking a hold of things and you start defining yourself instead. Part of this is embracing forgiveness and letting go. Forgiveness is, in this context, doesn't mean condoning hurtful behavior. It's about releasing the hold the past pain has had on you for your own peace and your own well being. It's about not only forgiving them so that you could let go of that, but it's also about forgiving yourself and the person that you had to become to survive in those situations. It's about recognizing that maybe you did some things, maybe you lied, or maybe you used some coping mechanisms that you're not proud of, but you did that because that was the only way at that moment you knew how to survive. As a child, we do our best. So as an adult, you could look back, you weren't an adult back then. So you could look back now as an adult and understand why you did the things that you did and use self-forgiveness and not shame that part of you or that age of you so that you can move forward and start seeing yourself as a survivor, start seeing yourself as someone who did what you needed to do in order to survive. Number 6 is reauthoring your life story. Reauthoring your life story means that now you hold the pen to your story. You decide who you are. You decide what your preferences are. You decide what your identity is. You decide what your truth is, and you start reattaching to your core self. You start reattaching to your truth. Your core self holds your truth, it holds your wisdom, it holds everything that you know is true about you. This involves taking an active role in reshaping how you see yourself and your life. It's about recognizing your strengths, your accomplishments, and the challenges you've overcome. Writing, therapy, and creative expression can be tools for this reauthoring process, helping you to see yourself not as a victim, but as someone who has survived and someone who did their best at that time back then when you couldn't do anything else. However, now you're in a different position because now, as an adult, you're able to make new decisions for yourself. You're able to use your wise mind so that you could reinvent yourself and not just reinvent yourself, but reattach to your true self so that you could become who you were always meant to be. And number 7, most importantly, is discovering your authentic self. Beyond the imposed role of the scapegoat lies your true self with unique interests, talents, and values. So, part of healing is not only healing from the past, but it's also discovering who you are, who you've always been, but had to be pushed down in order for you to survive the life that you were living and survive with the people that would not accept who you were at the time. Exploring and embracing these aspects of yourself can be an exciting and fulfilling aspect of your healing journey. It's about giving yourself permission to finally be who you really are, to finally express your true authentic self, to finally express what your preferences are, what your thoughts are, what your true emotions are, and to live with passion. Each of these steps is an important part to your healing and transformational growth journey. And why do I call it transformational growth? Is because in order for you to truly heal, you have to transform into the person you truly are. Because up to now, you've been the person they told you you were, or you're the person that you needed to become in order to survive. But the goal here is for you to become your true self. And in order for you to become your true self, it requires not just some changes, it requires an entire transformation from the inside out. It requires for you, again, to reconnect to your core self, that core self that you had to detach from in order to survive narcissistic parenting, in order to survive criticism, blame, possibly even abuse, all forms of abuse. So I want you to raise your level of self compassion so that the true you could evolve and you could actually achieve this transformation that I speak of. Patience, self compassion, and persistence are key as you navigate your path toward a more empowered and more authentic life. I am a true believer that it doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what they've done to you. It doesn't matter what they've said about you. What matters is what you're willing to do right now in order to flourish. What are you willing to do right now so that you could become your true authentic self? What are you willing to do right now to liberate yourself from the shackles and from the hold they've had on you, from the hold of narcissistic parenting, from the hold of the criticism, from the hold of all the abuse you went through? What are you willing to do right now? That's the question I leave you with, is what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do so that you could become your true authentic self and you could give us, this world, and all the people that you encounter, the best version of you?